part 2 of equation of circle. I will go through a few examples. So we start immediately, we delve into example 5. Okay, for example 5, the equation of circle is given by that whole equation over there. Find the coordinates in the center and the radius of circle. This one I won't speak too much. I'll just delve directly into the method to doing it. I think we've already learned quite a bit about this method in the previous video. So what we'll get here is basically so my center is 2 and 5 and my radius is equals to 3 units. So this is for 1. Okay, so C1. Okay, so that's quite chopped. Okay, for part 1, we look at part 2 now. The highest point of the circle is A. Find the coordinates of A. I'll just give you a rough sketch of this. So if I have a circle, okay, so the center, as we have found in the earlier part, was 2 and 5. The highest point, so if you think about it, where is this highest point? Okay, so the highest point should lie directly above here. So straight away you'll know that the x coordinate is 2. It will follow this coordinate, okay, because the 2 is somewhere here. So you just follow the x coordinate. So let me just write it down for you. The x coordinate will be 2. However, what is the y coordinate? We can do this by counting. So the radius was 3 units from the previous part. So if the highest point would lie directly above the center, so if you notice, this is 5. Okay, so plus 3, okay, this unit here will be 8. Hence, by counting itself, okay, you don't really need to show the working. Okay, by counting, you can say that the highest point is equals to 2. Okay, then 5 plus 3, so the highest point is 2 and 8. You can just write it down. Okay, this one you just have to figure it out and write it down. So for part 3, another circle C2 touches C1 at the point A. They say that the two circles do not overlap and that the area of C2 is 4 times the area of C1. Rough sketch again. So now C2 is a bigger circle. Then we have C1, which is a smaller circle like this. Okay, so the two will touch but do not overlap. Okay, now they say that find the equation of C2 in the, okay, they touch at the point A. So from the previous part, we know that the point A was 2, 8. So I will just draw here. This point here is 2, 8. And the center of my first circle was 2, 5. By logic, you will know that this center here will be 2 and something. So what we need to figure out now is what is the radius of the larger circle, which is known as C2. So they say that C2 is 4 times the area of C1. From your E-math, you have to remember that for similar shapes, okay, E1 over A2 is equals to L1 over L2 squared. So it states that the area of C2 is 4 times the area of C1. So I say 1 is to 4. The radius of my smaller circle was 3. So the radius of the larger circle, I will call it R. Then I square the whole thing. So in this case, what I should get is that my radius, okay, should be, in this case, it should be equals to 6 units. But let me just try to solve this. 1 over 4 is equals to 9 over R squared. If you solve this, your R is 6 units. Hence, over here, I know that this is 6 units. Since this point was 8, the y coordinate was 8. 8 plus 6 will give me the y coordinate here is 14. So I will say that in this case, the center of the second circle is 2, 14. I have the radius, I have the center of the circle. I can actually express it in the form that they want. So what I can do here is this. I just form the general equation of circle first, and I'll say that x minus 2 square plus y minus 14 square is equals to radius is 6 square. You expand everything, x square minus 4x plus 4 plus y square minus 28y plus, I have no idea what 14 square is, it is 196 is equals to 36. If you rearrange everything into the way that they want, you get x square plus y square minus 4x minus 28y plus 164 is equals to 0. And that is the form that they want, and we're not done yet. We have to state what is f, g and c. So in this case, your g value is equals to 2gx, so 2g is equals to negative 4. So your g value is equals to negative 2. 2fy, okay, so 2f is equals to negative 28, f is equals to negative 14, and the c value by itself is equals to 164. So hence c is equals to 164. Okay, I move on to example 6. So example 6 speaks of a equation of a circle with radius 12 units, blah 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 blah. Okay, this is the equation itself. Find the value of P and the coordinates of the center C1. Okay, so now what we can do here is this. What we can do is we can start right to express the circle, the equation in a form that is useful to us. So I'll write it as x squared minus 12x plus y squared plus 2py minus 44 is equals to 0. So I complete the square, x minus 6 square minus 36, and this one a bit tricky but still doable, y plus p square minus p minus 44 is equals to 0. So if I rearrange everything, x square plus y plus p square is equals to 80 plus p. Okay, so what we will have here is this, sorry, I missed out p square here. So it's 80 plus p square. So what we will have here is that the radius is 12 units. So radius, it should be r square in the equation itself. So 80 plus p square is equals to the radius square. So I'll call it 12 square in this case. So if you solve, you will solve that p is equals to 8. Notice that when you solve this, you get a positive 8 or negative 8, but we'll choose p equals to positive 8 because in the question, they tell you that the p value is greater than 0. So what they want is the coordinates of the center. So the coordinate of the center, it will be equals to 6 and 8. Because of here 6 and negative 8 rather, because you find the value of p to be 8. So hence I will say that my center is equals to 6 and negative 8. And that concludes part 1. For part 2, they ask, does the line 2x plus y pass through the center of C1? Explain. So what we have here is this. The center, in what we found in part 1, is 6 and negative 8. So if I put down into the equation, let's check if they actually satisfy the equation. So when x is 6, y equals to negative 8, I put in 2 times 6 minus 8 is equals to 12, minus 8 is equals to 4. 4 does not equate to the 3 on the right hand side. So hence, since it does not satisfy the equation, okay, so x equals to 6 and y equals to negative 8 does not satisfy the equation. this thus implies that 2x plus y equals 3 does not pass through the center. Okay, that is for part 2 itself. Now, there's another circle C2, and C2 passes through the origin and has the same center as C. Find the equation of C2. Okay, for C2, quite simple already. I know that for C2, the center itself will be equals to 6 and negative 8. So what's missing now is the radius. So the radius, since the circle passes through the center, the origin, so the radius is equals to 6 minus 0 square plus negative 8 minus 0 square root. My radius is 10 units. Hence, the equation of C2 will be x minus 6 square plus y minus 8 is y plus 8 square equals to 10 square. And that is the equation of the C2. We move on now to example 7. For example 7, the line yx equals to 2x plus 5 is tangent to the circle with center 3 and 4 at the point P. So find the coordinates of P. Just a quick refresher, okay, what is a tangent? So there's a circle here, then we have a line. So when the line is tangent, it means that it touches exactly at one point, as you can see down here. So if we can get started with this example 7. So now C and the P, P will be a radius. So we know that C here is 3 and 4, and then we know that P will be the tangent point. So this line here, this will actually be the radius. So now the radius, right, will be perpendicular, okay, to the point. So if I draw a radius here, and the radius will be perpendicular to the tangent itself. So basically this line is perpendicular to the tangent. So the radius is perpendicular to tangent, which is something that you actually learned in E-maths itself. So what we can actually do here is this. So this line, okay, this line here, y equals to 2x plus 5. I know that the gradient is equals to 2. Hence, the gradient of CP is equals to negative half. How I get negative half straight away is m1 times m2 equals to negative 1. So gradient of CP is negative half. So what I can do here is this. For the line CP, okay, y minus 4 x minus 3 is equals to negative half. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to form and find the equation of CP itself. If I simplify this, what I'll get is 2y is equals to negative x plus 11. So this is for the line CP itself. Now, for the line CP, notice that if I have the line CP and CP actually intersects that tangent at the point P itself. So what I need to do is to solve simultaneous equation. This is CP, and then what I also have is the line y equals to 2x plus 5. This is equation 2. If I solve these two equations simultaneously, I find that my P, okay, my x value I solved is 1/5. My y value is 5 and 2/5. Hence, my coordinates of P is 1/5 and 5 and 2/5. That is P itself. So last part is find the equation of the circle. So equation of circle, I already have the center 3, 4. What I need to do is to find the radius, which is C and P. So my C value was equals to 3, 4. My P value is equals to 1/5 and 5 and 2/5. So the length of CP is equals to x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. I square root this, and CP will give me square root 49 over 5 units. I form the equation of the circle. I'll get x minus 3 square plus y minus 4 square equals to square root of 49 over 5 square. Simplifying, I'll get this equation. And that's it for example 7. Example 8, the circle's equation that is given as you can see on screen, and find the equation of the tangent to the circle at the point 3 and -10. Okay, at the start of the question, you will not have this center here, so just let me just erase this so that you don't get confused. So they say that the circle has an equation x squared plus y squared minus 2x. So this guy is x squared plus y squared minus 2x plus 8y minus 23 equals to 0. And they ask you to find the equation of the tangent to the point 3, -10. Okay, never mind. Let's just find the equation of the circle first in a form that will help us. So x squared minus 2x plus y squared plus 8y minus 23 equals to 0. Complete the square. X minus square minus 1 plus y plus 4 square minus 16 minus 23 equals to 0. So if you simplify this, what I get is x minus 1 square y plus 4 square is equals to 40. Okay, the 40 no need to bother, we can use it later. Okay, what we need to do now is this. I know that now the center of my circle is 1 and -4. So I erase this, so I can see the center is 1 and -4. So I can find the gradient of this line here, the radius that is drawn there. So I can find the gradient of this line. So the gradient is equals to y2 minus y1 x2 minus x1. So the gradient in this case will give me -3. So if the radius has a gradient of -3, this means that the gradient, okay, of tangent, which is perpendicular, is equals to positive 1 over 3. So very quickly now, to get the equation of this tangent over here, which I have the point 3 and -10, so it's y minus -10, x minus 3. Equation of the gradient of tangent is 1/3. 3y plus 30 equals to x minus 3. 3y equals to x minus 33. And that's it. Okay, you have gotten the equation of the tangent. Okay, if you can, do try 8. Okay, this will be the last part of this video, part 2. I'll give you the answers in 3, 2, 1. So basically this, similarly, you find the equation of the center of the circle, the equation of the circle itself. You find that the center is -3 over 2 and 1. So you can find the gradient of the radius, which is -8 over 3. Then it implies that the tangent has a gradient of 3 over 8 because m1 times -8 over 3 equals to -1. So m equals to 3 over 8 over here. So you take y, okay, minus 5, x minus -3 equals to 3 over 8. You do some algebraic manipulation, you get the equation of the tangent found here. And that's the end of part 2. Thank you for watching.